a community pharmacist, but also the lead singer of the rock band Grim Republic. Perfect combination. He is an artist and a pharmacist. I am too an artist and a pharmacist, although a little bit different. So I thought it would be fun to discuss this. I think a really fun topic. I don't know about you, but I have met a lot of pharmacists in my career that have also been creative in some way and artistic in some way, and they don't really talk about it a lot.
I would agree. Why
do you think that is? Or do you think that's just everybody?
So whenever I introduce people to the fact that I was an artist, I kind of always led with the pharmacist thing.
Do you think that there's a misconception that creatives are kind of maybe not intelligent or flighty in some way? And
I think the misconception is that if I'm a rock star and I'm 26, I'm probably living in somebody's basement. I think that's so and I don't think that that's correct. You wanted to set that straight right from the beginning. I'm very
smart.
And
I'm in pharmacy school.
And we've talked about this before, is that everybody in the band is also along some sort of professional track in their own way. They're not pharmacists, but they all have these great jobs that they actually enjoy doing versus, just working your 9 to 5 so you can do the hobby.
Oh, I think that's a great distinction.
Or living in somebody's basement.
Everyone in Grim Republic has a career that they really like.
Yeah.
Okay, then. That brings us a little bit more into the topic. Like which do you think we should do first? How the artist influences the pharmacist, or how the pharmacist influences the artist? Because I think it goes both ways.
I think it does. I don't know if it's necessarily even.
So for me, like, for example, yeah, that's a good point. Like, for me, obviously, my work in the pharmacy, then I go home and I write about it, and then I shoot a video about it, because I'm trying to make my life's work art. But for you, unless you're writing songs about Prozac, it's probably, or your life at the drive-through window, it's not quite the same. So how does your work as a pharmacist then influence your artistic creations? Or does it? Or do you just leave it behind and say, thank God I'm putting the lab coat away and I'm picking up my guitar?
So I don't think the decisions I make as an artist are affected by what I do at work.
Okay.
Like I don't it doesn't change the way I act or the way I think. It does help me in producing material, though. Working in community pharmacy, as you know, is not an easy thing to do.
It's very challenging.
And there are great patients, and there are a lot of challenging patients. I'm able to, and I don't want to use the wrong word, but maybe take a little bit of that, like, frustration, or
I love that.
or and not quite anger, but just like kind of let it out with the music instead of putting it in other places that maybe it shouldn't be.
I love that.
I think especially with the music that we're working on now, it's a lot more aggressive than it was with the previous albums.
Okay, so to that point, do you think then the reason why the music is more aggressive, not only because of the times that we're living in, which I think produces some anxiety and stress and that friction anyway?
The overarching theme for a lot of the stuff we're doing now is like venting frustrations and picking yourself up and telling yourself that you're strong enough to do it without anybody else's help. Like it's very but it's also kind of like screw the world, like just trying to make sure that everybody understands where you're coming from.
A friend of mine said about my post when he was reading it, like when things were really, really tense at the height of the pandemic, he said, I read your post and it's like you're just saying screw you to everything and you're just going to be yourself no matter what. And I didn't really think of it that way. And that's kind of what you're saying. Like it's kind of like a statement, an affirmation that you're going to get through it no matter what. And so that would be how the work that pharmacist feeds the artist. So then how does artist Chris, singer-songwriter Chris, then influence pharmacist Chris?
With music and in art in general, there aren't any rules, right?
True.
I can, without caring about what anybody else thinks about my art, I can do whatever I want at any time and it doesn't matter. Pharmacy is quite the opposite.
Very much so.
A lot of laws, a lot of rules,
Right,
and this is very serious stuff that
Yes.
can hurt people if it's not done right.
Correct.
That being said, there are a lot of decisions, as you know, as a pharmacy manager, on how to deal with the people, how to deal with customers, how to
Right.
Something as small as just like organizing supplies. Sometimes I get caught up in the, is this the right way to do this, or record keeping, or this and that. Not everything has to be like so tightly between the lines as far as that goes, as long as you can find what you're looking for. And I think in that aspect it does affect it. And then also I try to make it as fun as possible with the people that I'm working with.
And you think because you're an artist that helps you?
I do. I think because I'm able to like relax and like be goofy on stage, that makes me feel like I'm not such a,
your typical manager,
like some sort of overlord about like how to do things and demanding text do this and that.
I see now from what you're saying, you really aren't two people. Like I say, pharmacist Chris and artist Chris, but you are you, and no matter where you go, if you're on stage or behind the counter, you are who you are. And I think being able to be in touch with your creative side is just what you said. You are a better problem solver. You are, because you've been solving creative problems. Problems are problems. Because a lot of community pharmacy, like you said, is about people, and people bring a lot of problems. Yeah. They just don't. Like, what do you do all day? I solve problems. Yes, I give out prescriptions and I counsel and I do that, but there's a lot of problems. And that's what I've personally found, that since I've been more in touch with my creative side, I am a better problem solver.
Yeah, I would agree.
When I said I was going to bring this topic forward, that's about work-life balance. Do you think that having the band, having Grim Republic on the side, does enhance your life and then therefore creates less stress at work because you have like a built-in balance for being a human being, right? Because humans are naturally creative. Yeah,
I think if I just, and I do know some people that do this, but if I eat, breathe, and sleep pharmacy, it's not, I'm not going to last long. I really don't think. Maybe that's just me personally.
No, and I think that's me too, and I think that's a lot of us. If you are an artistic, creative healthcare provider, just let yourself have that, because it is so worth it. I hope this conversation inspired you to get out the pen or the easel or the guitar or whatever it is and get back to your creative self. Thank you, Chris. This is a great conversation. Thanks for watching, and do it with me. Peace.